Okay, get ready for this because this isn't just another celebrity story. No, this is a financial horror story. We're talking about one of the biggest pop stars on the entire planet. So forget everything you think you know because we are about to break down how a $500 million empire came this close to total collapse. $500 million. That is a conservative guess of what Justin Bieber has earned in his lifetime. I mean, that's a number most of us can't even really wrap our heads around. So you have to ask the question, how does a guy who has literally everything, a global icon with his own personal money printing machine, end up nearly bankrupt? Yeah, you heard me right. This is the story of a catastrophic financial meltdown that happened right in front of everyone and almost nobody noticed. But to really get how deep the fall was, you have to understand the rise. And believe me, it was unlike anything we've ever seen before. So let's talk about net worth for a second. By the time most people are just trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, Justin Bieber wasn't just rich. He was basically a financial institution. $200 million. That was his net worth when he was just 20 years old. Think about that. This is a kid who grew up so poor his mom could only afford to order water for him at restaurants. And now he's one of the wealthiest entertainers alive. And look at how fast the money was coming in. The My World Tour brings in $53 million. Okay, not bad. Then the Believe Tour more than doubles it. And then the Purpose Tour just explodes to $250 million. It was like a runaway train of cash. And that's not even counting the music. At his absolute peak, Bieber was pulling in $80 million a year from endorsements alone. We're talking OPI nail polish, Calvin Klein, Adidas, you name it. He was a brand that just printed money. And then, bam, in 2022, the whole thing just slammed on the brakes. The engine driving the entire Bieber empire, it just died. And why? A shocking diagnosis: Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. It's this rare virus that paralyzed half his face. I mean, literally. He couldn't blink, he couldn't smile, and the big one, the one that really mattered for his bank account, he couldn't perform. This is where the dominoes really start to fall, one after another. The diagnosis hits, the massive world tour gets canceled, and that's when the people he owes money to start showing up. First in line, concert promoter AEG Live, and they want their money back immediately. How much, you ask? $26 million. It was just part of a $40 million advance they'd given him, and AEG wasn't asking nicely. They wanted it back like yesterday. And here's the part that is just gonna blow your mind. He didn't have it. After earning $500 million, when a $26 million bill came due, the vault was empty. There was nothing there. So naturally, things get messy, really messy. Bieber's team starts pointing fingers, saying his longtime manager, Scooter Braun, was overpaid. But then an independent audit comes in and finds the exact opposite was true. The final verdict? Justin Bieber actually owed Scooter Braun another $8.8 million. So you add it all up, the debt to AEG, the money he owed Scooter, the total bill was now a jaw-dropping $31.5 million. And the hole was only getting deeper. He was completely backed into a corner. So in December of 2022, he did something nobody thought he'd ever do. He made a secret, last-ditch fire sale. He sold off his most valuable asset because he was desperate for cash. $200 million. That was the price tag for his entire life's work. All 290 of his songs sold off. Now, on the outside, everyone's like, wow, what a smart business move. But the truth? It was a move of pure desperation. And here's the smoking gun. Apparently, Scooter Braun told him to just wait a few weeks, sell in January 2023, and you'll get a huge tax break. But Bieber couldn't wait. He needed that money right then and there. I mean, think about it. You don't walk away from millions in free money unless you are on the absolute brink. Which brings us back to the biggest question of all. Where on earth did $500 million actually go? Well, here's a little taste. We're talking private jets. Not one, but multiple mansions, all paid for in cash, a $2 million Bugatti, custom Rolls Royces, a nearly $29 million fortress in Beverly Hills, a huge entourage that costs a fortune. You see, this spending was set up for a life where the money never, ever stopped. But then the income went to zero. The spending didn't. But wait, because the story doesn't end with him being broke. Not even close. The biggest twist of all, the one nobody saw coming, involves her. $1 billion. You heard me right. That is the reported valuation for Hailey Bieber's skincare brand, Rhode. Her personal piece of that pie is estimated to be worth $300 million. And just like that, overnight, the entire power dynamic in one of the world's most famous marriages just completely flipped on its head. For the very first time, Hailey Bieber is the primary breadwinner. So what's the takeaway here? It's just this wild cautionary tale, right? The kid from a poor town who couldn't even afford a soda at a restaurant builds a $500 million empire, buys a nearly $30 million mansion, and then has to sell his entire legacy just to keep from going under. It proves that fame isn't wealth, and revenue sure isn't profit. That is the real story.